The first gods? They probably weren't born from thunder. They were born from a dream. Picture it. You're alive 40,000 years ago. Your brother just died. You touched his body, cold, still, empty. So you bury him. And then, that night, he shows up. He talks to you. He moves. He knows things. For a few minutes, the person you watched disappear feels completely, totally alive again. Then you wake up. And here's the thing, you've got no word for dream. No idea what a brain even does. So you ask the obvious question, where'd he go? And if the dead can come back without a body, what else is out there? We usually tell this story the lazy way. Cavemen saw lightning, got confused, invented a sky guy. Rain? Rain god. Sun? Sun god. Sickness? Some invisible jerk with a grudge. And look, that's not wrong. It's just way too small. Humans didn't build gods out of pure ignorance. They built them, or found them, depending on what you believe, using a brain that had already evolved for survival. A brain that spots danger, reads minds, remembers the dead, follows the rules, fears the end, and can't stop looking for patterns. Nobody sat by a fire and announced religion. There was no launch day. Gods just crept in, slowly, from a bunch of things the human mind was already doing. And digging it up is hard, because beliefs don't fossilize. You can find a painted skeleton, a weird carving, a giant stone pillar, but you can't dig up a thought. A burial doesn't come with a little note explaining what these people actually believed. So down here in prehistory, every confident answer comes with a quiet little, probably. But the clues? The clues are good. Clue 1. Humans are obsessed with figuring out who did it, not what. Who? Here's why. There's a leopard hiding in the grass. That's an agent. It acts on purpose. The wind moving the grass? Not an agent. Now, if you mistake the wind for a leopard, you lose 2 seconds. If you mistake a leopard for the wind, the leopard gets lunch. So evolution didn't reward the chill, careful thinker. It rewarded the jumpy one. A branch snaps behind you and boom, your brain invents a creature before the facts even show up. And nature? Nature loves to act like it's got intentions. Storms chase you. Rivers get angry. Droughts just refuse to quit. To a brain built for reading people, these forces start to feel like people, too. And here's the leap. If a storm has intentions, maybe you can predict it. If you can predict it, maybe you can bargain with it. And if you can bargain with it, well, somebody's gonna offer it dinner. Because humans already knew this trick. Give an ally some meat, and he helps you later. Calm down an angry boss, and the punishment stops. So why not try it on the sky? The hunt failed? Somebody broke a rule. The kid got better after a song? The ritual worked. And once you believe that, proof is everywhere. Rain comes after the ritual? See, it works. Rain doesn't? Well, you did it wrong. Or the offering was too small. Or the gods playing a longer game. Honestly, invisible gods have amazing job security. But gods aren't just weather with a personality. Here's the deep part. Humans can imagine what's going on inside other minds. What you want, what you know, what you're planning. And that ability keeps running even when the person isn't there. You can hear what your mom would say from 1,000 miles away. You can feel judged by a dad who died years ago. And death? Death breaks this thing in a beautiful, haunting way. The body stops. But your model of that person doesn't. You still know their voice, their laugh, how they'd react. Your brain literally keeps them alive as a person you can talk to. They're gone, but your mind keeps finding them. So the dead stayed busy. An ancestor could warn you, protect you, punish you. Do well after honoring Grandpa's grave? The bond's still strong. Suffer after ignoring it? Well, you know what you did, and that's why we see so much care for the dead this far back. People spent real time and effort on bodies that couldn't give them anything in return. That doesn't prove a god, but it's the soil a god could grow in. Then came the game changer. Symbols. Around 40,000 years ago, somebody in what's now Germany carved a little figure, a human body, with the head of a lion, out of mammoth ivory. Think about that. Somebody imagined a creature that never existed, and that changes everything. Because now you can dream up a being that's almost human, but walks through walls, or lives in the sky, or knows your secrets. Weird enough to grab you, familiar enough to stick. And once it sticks, you tell it. One person's scary dream becomes a story around the fire, and stories evolve. The boring parts fall off. The good parts get sharper. Kids learn it before they even think to ask where it came from. And eventually, nobody invented it. Everybody just inherited it. That's the key. A god doesn't need one genius creator. It just needs thousands of minds, tweaking it for thousands of years. Oh, real quick, if you want to go way deeper into the hidden lives of ancient humans, I just dropped a full course on exactly that. What they feared, how they talked, what was hunting them, all the stuff we never get to cover here. Plus a bonus guide, links in the description. Go check it out, then come right back. Okay, where were we? Right, rituals. Because knowing a story doesn't explain why people sing the same song, do the same dance, burn perfectly good food, or repeat one exact set of moves. So why do it? Because sometimes doing nothing is unbearable. Hunting, childbirth, sickness, storms, all of it is pure risk. Skill helps, sure, but luck can wipe out skill in a second. The perfect spear misses. The healthy mom starts bleeding, and when you can't control the outcome, a ritual gives you something to do. It turns helpless waiting into action. And it works. Repeating structured stuff genuinely calms people down. Plus, it pulls the group together. When everyone chants, dances, and moves as one, the line between me and us starts to blur. And the costly stuff, the fasting, the scars, the giving away of valuable things, that's proof. Talk is cheap, blood is hard to fake. So the guy who pays a real price for the group's beliefs, you trust him more than the guy who only shows up for dinner. So religion became more than belief. It became a badge. Proof you belong. Now fast forward. The groups get bigger, and the gods scale right up with them. Around 11,000 years ago, in what's now Turkey, hunter-gatherers hauled up massive stone pillars, covered in snakes, foxes, birds, before they even had cities. People without civilization pulling off that. Then farming shows up, and everything shifts. Now you're stuck in one place. You've got crops that can fail, grain that can get stolen, land you argue over. So the little local spirits get promoted. Ancestors become your claim to the land. Our dead are buried here, so this is ours. And in a village, everybody knows everybody. They know who cheated. But in a city, full of strangers, you can slip away from your neighbor's eyes. So you invent a witness you can't escape. A god who sees everything. A god who watches the strangers, punishes the cheaters, and lets a whole crowd of people who've never met actually trust each other. So why'd every culture come up with different gods? Simple, different worlds. River people got flood gods. Herders got sky gods. Islanders got storm and ocean gods. Your gods matched your life. So why did we invent them? Honestly, all of it at once. We needed causes. We saw agents everywhere. We couldn't let go of the dead. We dreamed. We grieved. We told stories. We were scared, and rituals made the fear feel manageable. But maybe the biggest reason wasn't fear of lightning at all. It was fear of meaninglessness. Because we got smart enough to understand time, and loss, and the fact that we're gonna die, too. A random storm just ends. But a meaningful storm? That's a punishment, a warning, a message. Death stops being the end, and becomes a journey. Religion didn't erase the fear. It just made it negotiable. An uncaring universe gives you nothing. But an angry god? An angry god might take a goat. We didn't invent gods because we were dumb. We invented them because we were smart enough to imagine invisible minds, social enough to meet shared rules, and self-aware enough to know we were gonna die. Long before temples, before priests, before kings, somebody stared into the dark, and felt the dark staring back. Maybe it was just a predator. Maybe it was a memory. Maybe it was a story coming to life. Or maybe, just maybe, something answered. We'll never really know. All we know is what humans did next.